Boss Lady Conversations with Monica L.
and Coach Kaya.
Boss ladies are
Vulnerable,
authentic,
love,
hopeful,
abundant.
respected.
Boss ladies are
You.
Welcome back, listeners. Thank you for joining us for another Boss Lady Conversations podcast special season 2. I'm your girl, Coach Kaya. I'm a boss wife, mompreneur, sister, writer, and certified transformational coach. What do? I help people access their power, heal the trauma of their past and sometimes present, reignite their dreams, and manifest the miracles that truly, truly matter. My IG handle is at I am Coach Kaya.
Oh, yes, Coach Kaya. I heard that and I felt it. Hi, Boss Lady listeners. I am Monica L., a boss lady, Cleveland born, LA raised, on a journey of freedom and happiness. As an educator, entrepreneur, self-published author, and poet, I believe all things are possible through synergy. Let's get it. My IG handle is at Monica L_writer. And as we always do, we so appreciate you. We just want to give you your roses. So thank you, Boss Lady listeners. I mean, you have really taken this movement to a whole nother level. We have so many followers. We have so many people that reach out to us. So many people have been waiting for season 2. So we are so happy. so happy with this launch. I mean, Coach Kaya and I have been really working this summer, and I know that you will definitely see the fruits of our labor. So we are happy to have you. Know that we're always accessible to you. So anytime you want to reach out, please follow us on IG at boss_lady_conversations. And you can email us at bossladyconversations@gmail.com.
Yes, and please subscribe to our YouTube page, which is Boss Lady Conversations Podcast with Coach Kaya and Monica L. That way you'll be notified whenever we post a new show, which will be, again, every single week. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this podcast. Listen, this has been like coming home to myself, coming home to my sisters, and it just feels so good. So I'm just very grateful and very appreciative. Like we're doing this because we love it and because it nurtures us. And we just hope that you feel the same way and that we can continue to nurture you. And we want you to continue to get bossed up to go after what matters most in your life. I'm so excited about today's show. I just been telling Monica L every week, like, Jane B is coming, Jane B is coming. So I'm so excited. Today's show, embracing your natural hair and wellness journey with licensed natural hairstylist, celebrated makeup artist, and beauty educator, Jane B. And Monica L., do you know what today is?
What is today, Coach Kaya? I don't know. What is it?
It's my Locaversary.
Hey!
It's my Locaversary.
Oh my God, it's been a year. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either.
Woo! And that was a commitment. And you made it. And I was there with you.
You were like, what happened? Right.
Because I want to know. Because, I thought I was going to go on it with you, but then I kind of had to, maneuver a little different. But oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. And it's so beautiful. I mean, it's so becoming, it fits your face. I mean, I can feel the lightness that it brings. And let's just keep it real. To not have to worry about our hair every morning, like, that takes at least 35, 40 minutes off of your morning routine. So what was this experience like for you?
Listen, as you know, it was tough. And yes, you have been right there by my side. Let me tell you, the journey to finding Jane B was rough, and really making that decision, I would say that was the hardest part. But once I found her and we vibed and her energy was just so wonderful and welcoming, I just knew that I would be able to move forward with no regrets. And that's really, what she did for me and continues to do.
Yes. And I know that wasn't easy. And this is really a relationship. Like, it's a different type of relationship than I think you would have with any other stylist in your life. So how was that path to finding Jane B?
Listen, honey, it took me about a full year after my son was born to make the decision I was really ready to lock my hair. And I had a long time natural stylist, but she did not do any locking styles or sister locks. She just wasn't comfortable in that lane. She was just more natural styles, even straightening, braiding, things of that nature. So it was like breaking up with her after I had been with her for 7, 8, 9 years. Yeah, she was with me through my wedding journey and everything leading up to it. But after I had my son, I was like, I'm ready for a change. I need to maximize my time, especially when he had hair and I had to start doing his hair. So I'm like, listen, something has to change. And so since after that, it was a mess. So I searched for a stylist in New Jersey, could not find one, kept looking. It was like obstacle after obstacle. Reading online, it was like, do you know how many locks you have? Like counting them. And, it was just like this whole like situation, sister locks versus small locks versus
micros.
Yeah. It was like, what kind of world is this? I felt really unprepared, overwhelmed. And so I ended up finding someone who charged me a lot of money to interlock the twist that I had my stylist start. So it was a mess. It was like one person started it. It was like a puzzle, and not a good one. So one person started it. I tried to go to her to interlock what I had already started, and nobody like that. And she was like, what happened? So then she started interlocking some of my hair and not all of it. And as the more she looked at my hair, the more she started charging me. She was like, it's now 50. It's now an extra 100. It's now an extra. I can't even tell you what the end amount was, but her energy and my energy, it was just not connected because she didn't tell me what she was doing. So I didn't feel like I was a part of the process. It felt like my hair had become this project that I was disconnected to. So what did I do? I went all the way home and ripped everything out of my hair. It was like my hair was much longer when I first started. I took it all out because I said, this feels like confusion. And for me, God is not the author of confusion, and I don't want confusion in my hair.
Right.
And I have been to Jane B a long time before that, like when I was still deciding if I wanted to do it, and my mind just went back to her. I was like, you know what? Let me call her and let me start over. And I found a hairstyle that I liked. It had the diamond part. Okay, Jane said, diamond part, I can do that. And I was excited. It just like brought all of this new energy into the experience. The timing was right. I got a color that I really liked, and it was a fresh start for me. And so from then on, my lock journey has been so rewarding. My hair has grown so much. There's so much that I can do with it. If I want Jane to do like a special style, she can. Sometimes you just want that special look. You want something different. So that's what I'm going to be rocking for Afros and Audios. And it's just been wonderful. I really am so grateful that I had to go through the difficult parts to get here.
Oh my God. It's like I was there. Obviously, I was there. But to hear you say it like in chronological order and like less than 2 seconds, like that was a lot. And just like you say, it's about energy, and someone's in your head, like it's in your head. Oh, your hair, and just
that's deep. That's deep.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's connected. It's just, you're right. And then someone starting it, it's like you really have to be gentle and careful with that. And you know how every woman feels about their hair, regardless if you're Black or not. No one wants to lose hair unless you want to cut your hair. That was not the intention. And you're right. It's a whole community. You got to know terms, because, I went down that road too, and I was so confused. I had a headache at the end.
You almost beat me.
I almost did. I wasn't gonna say that, but yeah, in LA it's a little different, and it really is a relationship. And I had to pay money for a consultation to even think about it. And then they charge by the length of your hair. And some people honestly cut off their hair to start it just so they wouldn't have to pay that cost. And
very normal. Yes.
Yeah. And that's a very foreign concept to me. Like you want me to cut off my hair to start to lock it, but I want it to be long when we like, okay, cool. Yeah. I'm so
Don't worry,
proud of you.
Jane's gonna fill us in.
Yes, she gonna educate us because don't let me try to tell nobody nothing because I as you can see, I am probably rocking my faux locks.
And I love them. They look so good.
Thank you. And this is my trying to decide what direction I want to go in. So I did something that was temporarily just to try it out. But like you said, my hair journey has been very long too. I think every woman's hair journey has been long, and it's really about where you're at in your life. And what I heard was that you were free and you had to free up some time because you had changed and became an amazing mom of your sunshine. And so it just had to be, the energy had to be directed differently. So I'm so proud of you for doing it. And you look amazing. You look so amazing. I'm proud.
And you do too. That's what I love about natural hair. To me, it's about what's natural and beautiful to you and your journey. And I feel like it's very personal. And I'm so excited to tell our listeners about the fabulous Jane B. Jane B is a licensed natural hairstylist, a celebrated makeup artist, and a beauty educator. She has been a vital part of the beauty and entertainment industry for over 25 years. Okay. During that time, she has worked for major makeup giants like MAC and Estee Lauder, and her work has been included in editorials, music videos, feature films, and television commercials. With an emphasis on natural hair care, Jane B has become the go-to stylist for clients who want their hair to be stylish, healthy, and happy. Jane B has expanded her brand to include a line of hair care and body products that stimulate your mind and reinvigorate your body. Since early childhood, Jane B has known she wanted to be a part of the beauty industry. And after years of working in the corporate sector, she stepped out to fulfill her passion of transforming people into being the best version of themselves, providing them with tools for staying fabulous, honey, for years to come. Jane B's treasured tagline is "Your beauty is my passion." And let me tell you that she lives it to the fullest.
Woo, Queen, I love that. Let's give a warm and proud Boss Lady Conversation Season 2 welcome to licensed natural hairstylist, celebrated makeup artist, and beauty educator, Jane B.
Hey, that intro, I was like, wait, is that me? Is that me?
That's you. Oh, thank you so much for being here. We so appreciate you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm so happy. I was listening to your conversations just about your natural hair journey, the things you have to go through, but sometimes that's what you got to do to get where you need to be. You just go through a lot of, so this way, when you get where you need to be, you know that that's where you need to be and you don't have to keep searching and looking,
That's right.
You just have to go through things to figure it out. So that's good. Right. So, and listen, your phone, I thought those were locks. Yes.
I feel honored that you said that.
Yes. I was like, phone locks looking like real locks.
They look really good.
I just got the biggest smile now. You can't tell me that. I would be like, hey.
Okay. They look really good.
Thank you. We so appreciate you. I mean, that bio, and I can't wait to get into it and our listeners. So the excitement is just overflowing for me and Coach Kaya. But what would you like for our Boss Lady listeners to walk away with tonight?
Well, definitely if they are in the natural hair space or if they're considering it, just a note of encouragement that, of course, just a reminder that our natural hair is beautiful because it grows out of us and we are beautiful. So just to keep pursuing that journey, especially if it's something you're thinking about and knowing that it is okay because it is you. Just to keep the encouragement going, because sometimes I think it's easy to get off track with what's trending, what's popping, what looks good, what should I wear, and just to know that who you are is who you are, and especially if you like it and if you love it, that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. So if listeners can just walk away with that would, or just to be encouraged to keep on pursuing that, I think that would be a great thing.
So Jane, if you could choose one natural hair technique or style that really best describes your boss lady journey, which one would you choose and why?
A style. I tell you, I love my locks. I have my micro locks.
They're so beautiful.
This is the best style on the planet for me. I've had it now 13 years. I got these locks in 09, and it's so easy because there really is no maintenance, to be really honest, other than when I get it retightened. And the fact that I could just, like I have it in twist today, and that's just to get it off my face and just to give some sort of, neatness to it. But other than that, I literally never think about my hair. Like I never, ever think about it. Like there are times when I just have a messy bun and I'll wake up, get ready, leave, and I never even touch the messy bun. So what you saw is like what I slept in is what you got, because there is no bad hair days. So I would say what's defining for my journey in terms of my own hair is just these locks, because it's my hair, that's what's amazing. They're small enough that I can do different styles with it, just like as if I had open hair. And a lot of my clients, that's what they're drawn to as well, especially when they see mine. That's what
everybody's like, I want that.
Right. Can I get that? Or they'll have traditional locks and they'll say, can I change it into the small ones? It's like, unfortunately, no, but you could always start over. Yeah, this is the best style ever. I mean, I made a YouTube video about it when it was like 1 year, I was 1 year in and it was short. And I was like, this is the best style ever. And now all these years later, it's still the best style ever.
Wow.
I love it.
Love that.
I love what you said. I'm just like taking in, because obviously you and Coach Kaya have had a longer journey than my introduction. And I just love how you're paralleling it to life, like life lessons. That's what I'm hearing. Like,
right.
The more you love yourself, you're going to go through trials and tribulations. You're going to go through different hair phases, but, staying consistent and staying on the road. So that's what I heard, at least, but I love that. And like you said, there is no bad hair day because it's mine. I love that too. I think so. We get so caught up, like, oh, it doesn't look like, or I want to look like, and it's just like, it's yours. It's yours.
Right.
Go with it. But that's when you have confidence in who you are as well. I love it.
Right.
So
what, be that kind of person, you have to be that person, like, because sometimes I just think you have to develop into that person, because you may not always naturally be there, but then over time, you hopefully as you embrace your natural hair, it just becomes a part of you. Yeah. Right.
So why do you think there's so many misconceptions when it comes to Black hair?
Whew. How many hours you got?
Not that many, but
okay. No, seriously. Well, it's conditioning. That's the easiest answer. It's just our conditioning, and because it's a power and there's a strength in who you are, right? So if you're natural, if that's how God made you, right? With like kinky, with coily hair, and when you wear your own hair, that is very powerful, because that's saying, this is who I am. I love who I am. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the misconceptions is because we've been geared to not love who we are. We've been geared to love other people, other looks, other aesthetics. Mm-hmm. And that's, just permeated. That's perpetuated constantly. From the time I was a little girl, I remember putting the white shirt on my head and letting the long sleeves hang and, like acting like this is my hair, because that's what we were conditioned to do, because you wanted the long hair because that's what you always saw. So I think the reason why the misconceptions about our hair being like bad hair, I've heard that before, is because it's just never been celebrated. I mean, it's the conditioning. We've never been celebrated. Thank God for social media because with natural hair, it's always been underground. I remember before social media, like when I first went natural, it was just a handful of ladies you would just see here and there, but it was real underground. Like you didn't even know about it. And so once social media came about, and once now it was like put out to the world, right? Mm-hmm. And then what happened even in that, just to piggyback on another thought, is like when it was underground, there was no I love your locks, but there was no fake locks. You know what I mean? Right. You only had your natural hair because the world didn't see what we were doing, because it was like underground. And then once the world got a hold to it, now it's like they're gonna co-opt on our styles too. So now it can't just be my natural hair. Now we have to get the extra natural looking hair. You know what I mean? So it's always somebody ready to jump on and impede what we do. So that's what happened. So the misconception was before, when it was underground, that it wasn't good hair, right? Good hair. But then once it became popular, now we're going to make it that now we're going to
making the money. Let's just say it. Right.
Pretty much. And then with that, there's another point with that, because now with the new fake hair that looks natural, whatever like that, that causes other problems with your hair. That because a lot of times that adds stress, that adds pressure, and so now you still are dealing with hair loss and issues like that. So it's kind of like it's always it's like that battle of like, can we just be who we are, like with other people like jumping on and trying to take or co-opt what we have so that we could just celebrate who we are, because the misconception has been changing, but then the other people jumped in now. Because once we got on social media, people started to see, oh, wait, natural hair is hot. It was fly. Yeah. And then they're like, no, we got to make money off that. Let's jump in there. Here's an Afro puff for you, that kind of thing. So
true.
So that's the thing. So I think that's just a misconception, just some conditioning overall. Yeah.
I appreciate you. Yeah, you're right.
Jane B, what are your highest intentions for the work that you do?
My highest intentions for the work that I do? Great question. My highest intention, especially with natural hair, is that women and men, but mainly women, just really embrace with their natural hair, because I've had women who come to me like fresh from a perm or fresh with the big chop, and they're still really nervous. They're afraid. They don't, am I going to be accepted? Or my boss, all the things that go with that, right? Mm-hmm. And I think my highest, what I would want is the women to really say, well, this is just me. This is it, like it'll leave it. And so believe it or not, that could be a journey with some people, because even though they want to be natural, it's still that fear. My biggest thing, I just want people to feel comfortable with who they are, embrace and love their natural hair, and really get into their brain, like, this is what you were born with. This is what comes out of you. And if you're good, then your hair is good. Because how could you be good, but your hair is bad? You know what I mean? So everything about me is good. My hair is good. My body's good. My skin is good. And so that's the whole thing. And most people, actually, if they've been coming to me for a while, they just get it. It just is what it is at this point. Like, there's no more discussion. Like, I am fly. They know that now. But sometimes at the beginning, they have to get to know. They have to figure that out.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I love it too, Jane B, because I will say out loud, I am one of those people. You work in certain industries. And I just think also being in California, no shade to people in California, but I do feel like East Coast started more embracing, and I could be naive and totally wrong, but I feel like, when I go to DC, it's just a larger embrace. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have hairstylists here, but like you say, going into corporate America or feeling like, okay, if my hair is not permed, if it doesn't look a certain kind of way, how I'm going to be viewed. And we all know about the Crown Act, it just certain things, going back to how we were raised and what we saw on television, what was acceptable when we defined Black beauty. So I love what you said about that starting within. And it feels like you're so much more than a stylist. It feels like your motivation and you're pouring into empower people and empower women about the beauty that is within. That's a lot of times our society doesn't do. Just keep it honest. They tell us, or we try to make ourselves assimilate to the main culture. So I know that you've talked about that, but what do you feel? Do you feel like that was more your foundation, or is that something that came over time with you? Was that something that still with you as a child, or was it just an evolution?
That's a great question. So in my family, I'm one of 6 and I had 3 other sisters. So my mother always had long hair, right? She has long hair. And so seeing hair was never it was just what we saw. So it was like, it wasn't like a big deal. And, my mother's a Southern lady. So there was they didn't know nothing about no weaves and wigs. She's old school. So she just always wore her natural hair. She would get it pressed for the most part. But then at one point she did get it permed. And then she cut that off and then it grew right back. It's just the way her hair is. So in my house, believe it or not, hair and texture weren't talked about. It wasn't distinguished, she got good hair, whatever that is, but she got good hair. It was never that. So for many years, I didn't know I had soft hair, like soft curly hair. And then people would say, oh, your hair's so soft, but that didn't mean anything to me because it wasn't celebrated, nor was it torn down. It just was what it was. So I never really had, and I'm grateful, but I never really had that stigma of, oh, my hair is not good, or, oh, I need to wear this, because I've never really been a woman that wears a lot of false hair. You know, I've never been that girl. Braids was probably the most I did. And I did try a weave once and it lasted for 2 days because my hands was always in my hair. So it didn't work for me. So I'm grateful in my house that we were not like hair focused. You know what I mean? Like, you know, hair texture focused.
Right.
So I've always kind of just had that attitude about, like, I just didn't care so much. You know what I mean? It didn't bother me to go natural. It didn't bother me when I worked in corporate America to leave on a lunch break and come back bald. And I did that because that's just what it was. I literally did that. I just went, that's my we can talk about that if you want, but that's my natural hair story, how I had a relaxer for 12 years. And I did that only because I thought that, you know, that's what you did when you was growing up. You got a relaxer. That was like a rites of passage, not realizing that my hair is way too soft for that. And I got a relaxer, and then it would be all over the bathroom floor, right, when I would comb my hair. And then back in 99, I was over it. My hair was it was raggedy. It was falling out. And I just saw a girl on the train, and I was like, where does your boyfriend go? Because her boyfriend had locks. And she told me, and I just went down to where he was, you know, to the place where she suggested on my lunch break. And I just said, take it all off. Just keep me looking feminine. That was my only request. Just keep me feminine. And the guy was like, I got you. And I came back from lunch bald in my corporate office. But I've always had that attitude. Like, I didn't care. And of course they looked, but no one really said anything. You know, of course the Black girls were like, oh my God, you know, but that was it. You know, but that, and no one ever said anything. But I know that I cannot compare people to me, and I try not to do that because I know I'm a different breed when it comes to, like, I really don't care. Like, genuinely, I didn't care what people thought. I just really didn't care. So that's always been like thank goodness, that's been my position of just doing what I wanted to do and just rocking it out. Yeah.
I love that so much.
I do too.
Wow. They may not have said anything, but I know them others were like, what is going on?
Yeah, I was no hair, completely bald, completely.
They was talking, like Coach Kai said, they weren't talking to you, but they was talking because they didn't know what to say. They didn't want to get in trouble to say anything.
Right. They knew better.
Just like, is that her? It looks like hers. It's the same clothes.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, I walked in like, hey, how you do? Like it was nothing. Hey, how you? Okay, I'm back. You know, that was the attitude.
Confidence. I love it.
Amazing. So you always been you. You always been that woman. Okay.
Yeah. Especially in my last days of corporate America, I really was that woman.
Oh, tell us about that. Tell us about, like, when you finally, like, decided I'm making that leap and goodbye.
Right. Oh man. So I was kind of like forced, but I'll tell you real quick. So I always knew that I was creative. I've always known that. And the quick version is, I remember back in 97, I remember like something just in my soul, like, and I don't like to say God said whatever, but it was just like a feeling I had inside me that was like, you were not created for 9 to 5. I just felt that, you know, it's like, you were not created for this. And so that was in 97, right? So then in 97, I knew it, but I didn't know what that meant exactly. And so I knew that I wanted to do something creative, didn't really know what it was, but I just knew that what I was doing wasn't it, because I'm not a good worker like that, you know? I'm not a good worker for people, very insubordinate, just a mess. And so what happened was I left the job I was at, right? And then I said, well, until I figure it out, I'm just going to temp. And so I was temping at different jobs, you know, different agencies and things like that. And then this one company offered me a job full time. And I took it because I wanted to buy a car. That's what it was. I wanted to buy a car. And I was like, I need a steady income to buy a car. But I took the job and I felt like a loser because I knew deep down inside I wasn't supposed to be working, you know, 9 to 5. So I took the job and I was there, and the more I was there, the longer I was there, the more I hated it. I hated it. I mean, it got really, really bad. And then the bottom line was my job, they were merging with another company. So we knew that there were going to be layoffs. And so at this point, I was so over it. I should have been probably fired years before, because I was taking lunch breaks that were 2 hours long, 3 hours long. I was going to out now. I'm in Manhattan, so I'm going to Brooklyn on my lunch break. What am I doing? I was going to Brooklyn on my lunch break, visiting Carol's daughter. You know Carol's daughter. That's when she had her shop down in Fort Greene. I'm in Fort Greene. I'm just doing all these things, just fueling my creative juices, right? Because I absolutely just didn't like where I was. And then, so finally what happened, and I was too afraid, because at that point I had never worked for myself. I only worked for other people. So, and the thought of working for myself was not even a reality to me, to be honest with you. And I was like, this is my job, but I hate this so much, but I don't know what to do. And I had already started in the entertainment industry as a makeup artist. And this girl I used to work with, she was just like, girl, quit that job. And I was like, what? It was like, that was like, I can't do that. She's like, girl, quit that job. And I was like, I can't do that, whatever. And then at the end of all things, we knew that the companies were merging. I was really miserable. And that September, I was just gonna quit. But something in me said, hold on, just hold on, because I was gonna quit. And so it ended up, that was in September, I was over it. By that November 6th, I was let go, because they merged. And so I was let go. So if I would have quit before, I wouldn't have gotten my severance package. I wouldn't have gotten I got my severance package. I got time for vacation, all the benefits that you get when they let you go. I was able to get, I even got unemployment, and I wouldn't have had any of that if I just would have left when I wanted to leave. So I was able to leave. And this is what's so crazy. So I got the job because I wanted a car. That was the original reason why I got the job, right? Mm-hmm. They let me go November 6th, 2002. So it'll be 20 years this year that I've been doing this, okay?
Wow, amazing.
Yes, they let me go November 6th, 2002. And my last car payment was November 11th, 2002. So I worked there and was able to get my car, pay for my car, and I left like just a few days short of paying my car off. So
come on through with your intentions. Come on through.
Yes. And I'll never look back. And just to put the period on the story, when I walked out of 1251 Avenue of the Americas, I looked back at that building around noon, and I looked back and I said, I will never work for anybody else again. And it's been 20 years. That's my story.
You're going to make me cry. I love that story, and it is so relatable.
Wow.
Oh, severance package. Ooh, that is okay. I'm gonna leave that right there. But anyway,
right.
I heard you. Let me just say, I heard you, and I felt you.
Right.
And yes, and you don't have to put a period. Yeah, period on you would never work for no one else. That was a great story, and I love that. You're a creative, but you are a businesswoman, because clearly you have brands. You have a YouTube, CJ Twirl. I checked you out. I see how you was like, I love the makeup brush. You like, I only use one, and the DIY, showing stuff. Like, I see how you repurpose. So let's tell our listeners about that, because we need to know what's going on.
About CJ Twirl?
Yes.
Okay. CJ, so deep in my heart, when I'm not doing makeup and things like that, I've always been like a media girl. I love media since I was young. I just always felt comfortable in front of the camera, that kind of thing. And so I always just liked it. Never really did much with it, but I always liked it. So when YouTube came around, like it came out in 05, by 07, I had a channel, but that channel was more about hair and beauty and makeup, things like that. But then I always wanted, because I do like to travel, and I always wanted something like more travel based, or, just something more personal outside of the makeup and the hair. And so that's how CJ Twirl came about. And so that channel primarily is for, like, I use that channel for my DIY projects. I use that channel for DIY, travel, And I also do reaction videos. So I do like reaction videos. So basically, CJ Twirl is just all of my media, the love of media that I have, but I'm putting it in one place. I may separate it at one point, just make separate channels for each thing. But right now I'm just using the one channel just to express my creative outlet. So it'll be all of the DIYs, like I said, the reactions and the traveling. So that's how I came about that. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you.
And I love your channel so much because you really promote loving yourself and also not waiting for someone else to live the life that you want.
Right.
You like, I did this. I wanted to try this. I never did this before. So here I am. Like people are so afraid. It's weird because, some people don't even realize that they're living in a box. Until they see you and they're like, wait, I never did that before. What do I want to do? And I feel like that's how you inspire so many other people, because you're just like, what do I want to do? Okay, let me do it. Here you go.
Yeah, that is me pretty much. I mean, I just finished working on the project. I'm almost finished. Because I always try to reinvent myself somewhat, from time to time. So the beginning of this year, I said, I want to do something I've never done before. That was I think I shared it with you too, Kaya. I
was like, what?
I was like, I want to do something I've never done before. Now, little did I know I'd be anybody's contractor, but I became a contractor in my own place where I totally redid my bathroom. It's almost done actually. So I'll be posting it. So stay tuned for that. But ripping down walls, putting up, I'm like, what am I doing? But thank God for YouTube University that helped me out along the way. But that has been a lot of fun. So that will definitely I'll be sharing on CJ Twirl. And so far, people have really been encouraged. They're like, how did you know how to do this? I'm like, what are you doing? Because they came in the process. So they saw the craziness, which was my little contracting project. So I don't know if I'll be doing it again, but I definitely at least know what to do. So if I ever need to do something, I was like, oh, you got a hole in your wall, hold on, let me get some sheetrock. I got you. So yeah.
All right. You are every woman. And we don't dance around a lot of stuff, but let's talk about your main project. Like, you are a loctician. Tell us about that. How did that business and all the other things that sparked from that, from Coach Kaya giving us your amazing bio and all your products, let our listeners know.
Right. So I've been doing hair. Well, I started out as a makeup artist first. So I was doing makeup first. I've been in makeup, just like she said, in the industry, doing like everything in the industry pretty much. And so what happened was, with the invention of YouTube and social media, the industry started to change somewhat in terms of just work and availability. And so it started to slow down. And so I needed to shift, make a shift, stand still and pivot. So I had to do that. And then that's how the natural hair came along, because I always did natural hair, but I wasn't doing it seriously. I wasn't doing it intentionally. I was just doing it if you needed a quick style, I can do it. And so then that's when I decided to go to school just to get my license, just to be legit. And once I did that, I got my license, and then I just, started doing natural hair. And, it's always a learning curve with anything. So, I started to do the natural hair. And then what happened was it started to morph into doing more locks than anything else. I still do natural hair. I am a licensed barber as well, a master barber. That's the license I have. So I can do hair. I can do everything I could cut, and I can do open hair, all those styles. But locks is just really like a mainstay. That's what a lot of people want, are the locks. Especially the micro locks, but traditional locks as well. And so I just really started to gravitate more into that. And that's been really great, just to see people go from these small locks, short hair, and then all of a sudden their hair's now down their back, it's just amazing. So yeah, that's how I got into it. Yeah, so that's pretty much how I transitioned into doing natural hair full time. I still do makeup. I still do that. Mainly with makeup, it's people who know me from back in the day will ask me to do makeup, but mainly I do hair. And I mean, I dibble and dabble in other things as well in the beauty space, but hair is my mainstay.
I love it. I love it. Congratulations. Thank you.
So Jane, what boss ladies inspire you to keep standing in your greatness?
Ooh, great question. You know, it's so interesting you asked me that because there's not a lot of like natural hair people I stand, you know what I mean? I really go after, I look at people's work on the social media and I'm like, I appreciate their work. So I would just say it's a lot of different people that I just look to, that I get inspired by. But I think what really gets me going, like what inspires me for real, are just when I see ladies who are just like living out loud and just doing their thing, like just that gets me going more than anything else. Like everything, you know, it's combined with everything. So when I see women that are just out here, like living their best life, not really caring about what anyone thinks, like not waiting for permission, not asking for permission, they're just doing it. Those are the women who really, really inspire me. I can't think of anybody, honestly, just off the top of my head, but there are a few that I will like tune in, I'll check in just to see what they're doing and just stay inspired that way. Because I'm always trying to evolve. Because even with the hair space, you know, I love it and I do it, but I'm always trying to do other things that I've never tried before. And especially if it's something I think I can do. And then that's like, that's how I keep it going. So I guess, Monica, like what you said, I'm all things, you know what I mean? I guess that's why.
Every woman, yes.
Right, because I just always try to, you know, try to up my game, try to do new things. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. And for our boss ladies, how can they connect with you so they can maybe book an appointment or purchase your products or follow you in your fabulous lifestyle?
Oh, okay, sure. So I have a website, janebnaturalbeauty.com. I'm on social media, Facebook and Instagram, Jane B Natural Beauty. I'm also on Twitter. I'm not hard with my Twitter game, but I'm on Twitter. Same thing, Jane B Natural Beauty. And I have, what else do I have? I think those are the only, and I have a TikTok as well. I have a TikTok, Jane B Natural Beauty, and C Jane Twirl. So I have Instagram, C Jane Twirl. I have a TikTok, C Jane Twirl, and I have a Facebook, C Jane Twirl. So you can see me on all of those platforms as well. And if you want to book an appointment, you can always go to the website. There's a number there. You could always reach out, and we can make it happen.
I love it. That's a full job.
First of all, much respect for managing social media like that, because you know that's a job.
Oh my God. Oh yes.
Oh yes. And Jane does her own editing too. Let's just be clear.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, she you know how we wear hats. She wears hats, and yes. So yes. So no. We just loved having you on the show today. And at the end of our show, we always do a recap of some of the mini gems that you've shared with our listeners today. So as you embrace your natural hair, you embrace who you are. Your natural hair is beautiful because it is you. Celebrating who you are and embracing your natural hair means learning to connect to and love everything about you and believe that it is good. Your hair, your skin, your body, your essence, it is good. And finally, don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. Stand still and pivot, honey.
Yes, I love that recap. That was an excellent recap. Yes.
Oh gosh, we hope that you've enjoyed connecting with the wonderful boss lady, Jane B, and learning more about how to boss up and take your natural hair and wellness journey to the next level today. Thank you again, Jane B, and please come back soon.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, see you soon.
Okay.